take us through that Javy interaction and that conversation? Can you share anything maybe that you guys discussed in the dugout?
I like to keep some of those things in house. I mean, I think it's, we just got to make sure we're focused and locked in during the game. And, sometimes our frustrations can distract us a little bit. And we had a good conversation, and I think that's behind us. Javy's really important to this team. And, he's a leader on this team and sets a good example every time he's on the field. And, one of the guys that I rely on to, set a good example for all these guys who I think highly of him and his skill set. So, I think it's just a little bit of lack of concentration. We talked about it, and that's behind us.
David, what goes into a manager's mind in terms of the timing of that? Why this moment to pull him out of the game like that?
I think it's just, when you see somebody that might be a little distracted, you try to, get somebody else in there and they can that's maybe focused and give that person a break. Maybe they're just grinding a little bit mentally and not all the way there. And, you try to give them the rest of the day and come back tomorrow refreshed and ready to go.
You think, David, if anybody else, young or veteran, makes that same play the same way, and, in other words, you see the same thing, it's just somebody else, doesn't matter who it is, do you think you suppose you make the same move there?
I mean, I've made a move last year with a different player that was, I didn't feel like was fully engaged at a moment. And I think that there's more that led up to that decision, maybe a little bit, that you guys don't know about. But I think that, yes, if the circumstances were the same with anybody, I'm not trying to set an example of Javy ever. That guy plays his butt off and brings it 99.9% of the time. And so it's not about setting an example for a star player that's a big part of this team. That's not it. It's just, let's get somebody in there that's fresh and let him regroup, and he'll be better for it tomorrow. We'll all be better for it.
David, I guess a primary example was the way that he hustled down the line to even still be on base during that inning. So
I think it's rare that Javy doesn't hustle or give his all. And yeah, that's a definite rare moment for him.
David, if I remember correctly, like with Schwarber last year, I think in hindsight, you kind of alluded to you weren't totally comfortable with that decision. What about this kind of rose to the occasion to where you would do something really kind of out of character for you in terms of publicly in the middle of a game like that?
Yeah, I think I did not feel good to take Javy out of the game. That is, I definitely would agree with that statement. I'd never feel comfortable doing that at all. That's a pit in my stomach and was in my stomach the entire game.